Hey, and welcome to the DadAdvice channel. If it's your first time, we're a community created to learn and grow together. If you find this content beneficial, we'd love for you to like and subscribe to the video and share it with somebody that it might positively impact. With that being said, let's get into it. Everyone, today we're going to chat about how to handle a child that is lying. This has been something that I've dealt with our oldest, who's now 6, and I've thought about a lot of different strategies and read up a lot of different things, but we're going to go over how to deal with your child when they're lying. All right, we're going to use an acronym called BRIC, and number 1 is breathe. So when you hear a lie, when you think there's a lie going on, you need it, and this is probably with all parenting steps, take a deep breath. Don't just go straight into interrogating your child. It doesn't help. So take a deep breath. The second step is to reframe. Reframe it from being a lie to telling yourself, why are they trying to protect themselves? Is it out of fear? Is it out of imagination? Is it out of the fear of punishment? Why are they trying to protect themselves? Often with children, it's not just black and white of, hey, they're being morally or ethically wrong. There's usually some other underlying issue. Number three is focus on the issue, not the lie. Often there is something, for example, like, hey, we ask our children, do they do their homework? And they say yes, and we realize that that's not the case, that they didn't do homework all week, or the teacher sent us something that there was an issue at school and they tell us, oh, everything was fine at school. But what we want to do is, instead of focusing on, hey, they're lying, we want to focus on the underlying issue. So if it's they didn't do their homework, we're trying to figure out why they didn't do their homework, not why they're lying to me now. How can you help them not do that in the future? Is there some aid that they can use, some reminders? Maybe they may need more sleep, whatever it is, but don't focus on the lie, focus on the issue. In this one, if they are owning up to stuff, we do want to be praising our children to encourage them to continue to do this in the future, and encouragement is one of your tools in your toolbox, so make sure you're using that when they are lying, that you're encouraging them to tell the truth. Number 4 is consequences. So with lying or underlying issues, there should always be some sort of consequence. If it's a smaller lie or something that is imaginative and is not one of those black and white things, you can just let it roll. If it's a bigger lie or a repetitive lie, there needs to be consequences that your child knows, hey, when I do this, I'm gonna lose some sort of privilege. And often, if it's a lie in regards to some other person, you can say, hey, I'm just not comfortable as your parent with you playing with that person, because I just want to be comfortable that I know what's going on. But you're going to have to determine what that consequence is, determining whatever lie this is about. So that's the acronym of BRIC: breathe, reframe, focus on the issue, and then have some sort of consequence. So that's the BRIC acronym. Then there's also strategies that you can utilize. We talked about one briefly, which was one of those tools, which is encouragement. Always praise your child for owning up or telling the truth. Another one of those strategies is tell them about a similar situation that you might have failed or faltered when you were younger. So this is gonna, show them vulnerability, show them that it's okay to share something that you did that wasn't perfect. And it's also going to show that you don't expect perfection, that you're not perfect. So this might bring them closer to you instead of pushing them away. And the last strategy that I think sometimes works very well is sometimes you can just make a big joke about the lie, accentuate it. If some dish is broken, you can talk about, hey, it must have been that crazy purple dragon that was running around the house. And sometimes I find that strategy works. So with all those 3 strategies, usually you can determine which one you want to use when. Some don'ts that I have read about and that I have actually failed as a person in the past is don't set traps for your kids. So if you already know the facts, if the teacher sends something home and you already know what happened, you don't want to say, hey, how did everything go at school today, when you already know. Just lay out the facts. Hey, the teacher sent me an email. She said X, Y, and Z happens. I'd like to talk about it. And you're not setting your child up for failure. The other don't is don't label your child as a liar. We don't want them to internalize that and think that that's what they are, but and your goal here is not for them to identify as a liar. We don't want to be throwing that term around so they can say, oh man, I am a liar, and I'm going to do that in the future because that's who I am. We don't want them to think that's who they are, and we don't believe that's who they are. We think that they can always do better, and we're going to expect them to do better. Hey, I hope those strategies help. If you found the content in this video valuable, we'd love you like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you on the next episode.